Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video, I am bringing you my update on my Pan Those eyeshadows. So if you are new around here and you want to keep up to date on my Pan Those eyeshadows or all my other project pans that I'm doing this year, make sure to subscribe down below. And without further ado, let's jump on into the update. So this is my first update on my Pan Those eyeshadows for 2023. I'm very excited to share with you. I have a lot of progress on these eyeshadows. I have a sneaky little rollout already, which is very exciting. If you didn't see my intro for my Pan Those eyeshadows this year, I am doing my Pan Those eyeshadows a little bit differently in 2023. This year I decided to follow along with Makeup by Laney's prompts. She's done a list of 100 eyeshadow prompts. So I've decided to follow along with those prompts this year just to mix things up a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting, keep me on my toes. And it definitely has so far. I actually have found these 5 shadows quite challenging this month. So I've kind of achieved my goal, but at the same time, I feel like it is making it a little bit difficult for me to pan my eyeshadows. I rotated in 5 prompts from the list last month because I am doing Project Level Up, so I reduced down the amount of shadows that I normally focus on in this project just to allow for Project Level Up. Right off the bat last month, I did decide to pick out one of the prompts right from get-go to give myself the best possible chance of hitting and finishing and meeting this prompt. And that was prompt number 1 on the list, which is a black eyeshadow. So I rotated this one in right at the intro because I wanted to give myself the most amount of time that I could to try and hit pan on a black eyeshadow. I knew it was going to take me a very long time. And I also wanted to make sure I wasn't getting this prompt like right at the end of the year in November when I only had 1 month to try and complete the prompt. For this prompt, I did rotate in my Natasha Denona My Dream palette, and I rotated in the blackest black out of that palette. I've used this one 15 times, and by golly gosh, it doesn't even look like I have touched this one. It's very annoying. I knew this would happen. Like, it's black, for Christ's sake. I knew that it would happen. I was just hoping that maybe I might have a little bit more progress on it than I actually do. You can definitely see like some wear and disturbance on the pan, but this shadow, I think even if I keep this palette in until December, I might not still hit pan on the black, but we'll continue on. I do find that it is a really nice black. You only need the tiniest little amount to have enough for your eyes. I normally just do a little tiny dip in to deepen the outer corner. You only need a very, very small amount, but it is a really nice black. So I'm happy to continue on with that one. I'm probably going to get really annoyed at that one. I can already tell throughout the year, but it is what it is. The next one that I rotated in was for prompt number 9, and that was the oldest shadow. Now for that one, I rotated in the Balm Nude Tude palette. I couldn't really quite 100% remember which one was my oldest palette, but this is definitely one of the oldest. I just don't know whether it is the oldest. But in any event, a lot of my other older palettes have pan in them. This one doesn't. I was focusing on the color Sultry, which is just like a mid-tone brown, and I did manage to hit pan on that one. So this is my first pan for this project this year. That one right there. Very, very happy with myself. Not the best formula in this palette anymore, I think, given its age, but you know, I still managed to get the pan nonetheless. Next was number 21, which is a shadow from your favorite palette. Now for that, I rotated in my little magnetic palette that I have from Menagerie Cosmetics. Rotated this in because I absolutely adore the packaging on this one. But not only that, it's my favorite palette because it houses all my beautiful, beautiful, glorious Cliona shadows. From this palette, I did pick the color ARS. I randomly number generated one and I counted up. So this one here, Heiress, and as you can see, it does have a bit of a dip there. I've used this one 11 times. I don't know whether there's potential that I'll have pan on this one next time, but I'm not quite sure. I think I'll definitely have to use it maybe another 10, maybe a little bit more times between now and the next update. But once I think by the next update, I'm either going to be at pan or I'll be very, very close. I have been loving wearing this shadow. It is a beautiful shadow. I'm actually wearing it on my lid today as my shimmer. I just love how kind of like easy and effortless it is. It like just elevates a neutral eye look and it's so easy to wear. It's a lot easier to wear than like these bright blues and greens here. It's like neutral, but it just elevates a neutral look to the next level. Love it. I absolutely love it. The next one I rotated in was number 50, and it's the shadow from your palette with the most pans. Now the way that I interpreted this, and I kind of realized that I probably interpreted it wrong when I was editing my intro, the way that I interpreted this prompt was the palette that I have in my collection that already has the most shadows that I've hit pan on, rather than the palette that has the most amount of pans in it. Because the palette that has the most amount of pans in it is actually my Carnival 4 palette from Be Perfect. So that's the palette that has the most amount of pans in it, but the way I interpreted it at the time was the palette that I have hit the most amount of pans in. Hope that makes sense. But anyway, that palette is my black Z palette that contains my Makeup Geek shadows. So I think I have like 11 or 12 pans that I've hit in that palette. I did grab out the color Whimsical from yes, that just fell on the floor, and yes, it just broke on me. It didn't completely break. So I picked out the color Whimsical, which is this one here, and I just like broke half of it out of the pan. But anyway, this is the one that I'm currently working on. I might have to rethink how I'm going to use this one, because I imagine that I've probably just cracked it all the way down to the bottom, given that I just dropped it. Anyway, I have only used this once. I've just been distracted by my Project Level Up palette. I've been distracted by the Menagerie shadow. So this one I do really want to give some more love between now and the next update. I'm really annoyed at myself that I just dropped that. So I've only used that one once. Moving on, we have a shadow that starts with the letter L, and that is prompt number 63. For that one, I grabbed out my Urban Decay Kristen Leanne eyeshadow palette, and I rotated in the color Lime Time, which is this one here. Now, I honestly thought that I would be a lot closer to hitting pan on this one than I actually am, and I kind of decided, since now and the intro, that the color Lime Time's actually not that great. I thought that it was a lot more like bright and colorful than it actually is. When you actually put it on the eye, it's actually not like as bright as it seems. It's actually a bit of a dull lime color. It's not really nice and intense like I wanted it to be, but I'm going to continue on and use it. I've only used it once. It's only quite a small pan, so I feel like it won't take me too many uses to hit pan, but I just need to use it. So that's my update actually. I feel like I am missing something, but I'm not actually missing anything. The thing that I am missing is my shadow to roll in to replace this. So I need to randomly generate another number for a prompt. This one is going back in my collection. And let's get out my random number generator. We have 100 prompts, and let's see what we get this time. So we have number 91, Now the corresponding prompt for number 91, I think I'm going to roll again because prompt number 91 is a green shimmer shadow and I already have one of them in the project. So I'm going to rotate, I'm going to roll again just for like this time around. I don't want to have multiples of the same color in at the same time. It just doesn't make sense at all. So I am going to roll again. I will keep 91 on the list though. Obviously we'll come back to it at another time. So I've got number 32. Let's see what number 32 corresponds to. Number 32 is a duochrome shadow. Interesting. I'll be back in a second with that shadow. I always have the hardest time picking out my shadows to match these prompts. I am covered head to toe in glitter, but I have picked out my duochrome. I did pick out another one of my singles. I picked out this color here. This is Sydney Grace, The Greatest Gift. Let me swatch this beauty for you. It is so beautiful. It's beautiful. So I think that I'll get a lot of use out of this one. I haven't actually used this all that much, but I think the duochrome in it will just be beautiful and fun to play with. So I'm going to bring that one in. I don't know how it's going to go paired with the other stuff that's going on at the moment in the project, but it is what it is. I will leave a photo on the screen of my color story moving forward. I have mixed feelings about this project at the moment, but I'm still enjoying the challenge. So we're going to continue on the way we are. I think maybe there might be, I don't know, there might be some months in the year that maybe I just want to like pick out the stuff that I want to work on. But at the moment, I am really trying to, when it comes to matching my prompts, I'm really trying to grab out palettes that still don't have pans on them, just to try and keep up with my goal of hitting at least a pan in every palette. It's not going the best, but we have another one to add to the list. So it is what it is. I'm going to add this one into the rotation. I'm actually really excited to start playing with this one and see how I get on with it. If you are doing this project, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to check out your video, even if you're doing like pan those eyeshadows, but in a different format. Panning those eyeshadows or pan those eyeshadows is probably one of my favorite projects to binge. So let me know down in the comments if you are participating in a eyeshadow panning project this year. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've hit pan on any of your makeup recently. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new around here and you want to keep up to date on updates for this project and any of my other project pans that I'm doing this year. That's it for this video, beautiful. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope you are staying safe, healthy, and looking after yourself. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.